welcome back to my channel. In this week's video, as I promised, I'm going to walk you through how I usually read a screenplay. And this week I'm reading Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, and I hope the tips I give you in this video can help you in some way. And before I start it, if you don't know already, my name is Nani. I'm a film director, screenwriter based in Los Angeles. And welcome to my channel and take the time to watch my video. And let's get started. First, I'd like to use a physical copy of the screenplay. The reason I like to use a physical copy over a digital version is because that's much easier for me to take notes, and also when I try to figure out the structure of the story, I'd like to refer back to what I read before, so I always flick back and forth between the pages. It's much easier to do it with a physical copy than scrolling on the computer with the digital PDF. There's several websites I usually will go to find my screenplay, and I'm going to link some links down the description so you can go check it out. So what I will do is I will download the screenplay and print at home, and also I'll bind by myself with my own binding system. Binding is so expensive in places like Staples and Office Depot, and I find a system that I really like. And overall, in a long run, if you print a lot of stuff and you need to bind a lot, this system can save you a lot of money. But first time purchase, the binder and the hole puncher is really expensive. But it's worth it since I print a lot of stuff. Booker. You're in my way, Booker. No. No. Seriously? I'm also going to link all the stuff I use down the description as well, so you can check them out if you want to. So after I finish print out my screenplay, I'll put my color coding system on a sticky notes and then tape on the top of the cover page like this. And in this way, no matter which page I'm on, I can always refer to what color represents what, so I won't get lost while I'm reading through the screenplay. Notes I'm usually taking is, first, I'll highlight the dialogue that stand out to me, or the dialogue referring the theme. I'm always interested how they put the theme into people's dialogue in a subtle way, so I'd like to highlight those stuff. Second, I'll highlight the very good or interesting descriptions, and I'll go back to this later, how I use them. Third, I'll highlight things that's related to English grammar stuff, because as you know, English is not my first language, so it's really helpful for me to read a screenplay and study English simultaneously. Third, I will use a color pen mark all the structure stuff, like where I think it's the inciting incident of the story on the screenplay, and where I think it's a midpoint, things like that. Because sometimes what's interesting is the screenplay have different structure or scene order than the movie itself. This week I'm watching Eternal Sunshine of Spotless Mind, and they are very different. They delete a lot of things and then they rearranged a lot of things as well. I'm still trying to figure out why they do it, but it's very helpful to see how things present on the page and how it shows in the movie, to try to figure out why the director or editor making the choice to do certain things. After I done the color coding, it's the time to start reading the screenplay. Most of the time I'll do them simultaneously. I always watch a scene and pause and read the corresponding scenes, or I do the opposite, read several scenes and start watching several scenes and then pause, read next the several scenes. But sometimes this method doesn't really work. For example, for Eternal Sunshine of a Spotless Mind, I started it this way, and later I find out that, as I stated before, the screenplay and the movie is very different. So in this case, I have to stop watching the movie and only read the screenplay first, and then to take all the notes, get familiar with different scenes where they at. After I done that, I will go back to watch the movie and read the screenplay simultaneously again for the second round of reading. In that way, every time when there's a scene present in the movie, I can find quickly exactly where it at in the screenplay. The reason I like to watch the movie and read the screenplay simultaneously is because when I read a scene and then watch how it play out on the screen, it gave me more sense of how the writer conveyed the certain emotion and action onto the description on the page without giving away too much of internal emotion. As you might know already, there's a rule in screenwriting that you should try not to write too many internal thoughts or internal emotion onto the page, because they can't directly translate to an image. So I find it's very helpful to watch a movie, watching the action, and then read the corresponding description to learn from other writers how they do this effectively, how they present an image with a sentence vividly that make you be able to see what's on the screen. And also, I'd like to compare the screenplay and the movie to learn more things about directing and how the director making certain choice, delete stuff and changing stuff. I find it's very interesting, especially for this one, Eternal Sunshine of a Spotless Mind. There's so many dialogue in the, like several pages long dialogue in the screenplay that's so good, but the director completely delete them in the movie. As you watch through the entire movie, you can see why, because even though those dialogues are interesting, but they repeatedly giving you same information again and again, and it's really hard to tell on the screenplay, but it's obvious from a movie. And the last thing I will do after I finish a screenplay is I will go to write all the highlighted descriptions into my notebook. And the reason I do that is I'd like to go back to read them over and over. I find this is very helpful because it gives me a better sense of the screenwriting language. Especially right before I start writing my screenplay, I'd love to go back to read them several times, and the language kind of brainwashed in my brain, so I tend to come up with better sentence or descriptions of my own scene. And it's also helpful in a way that when you don't feel motivated to write, and you just go back to read those really good, great, vivid descriptions, and then somehow it will motivate me to write my own. So that's my favorite part of reading the screenplay, I think.
No. Let's move into this neighborhood. I do sort of live with someone now. Male or female? What? Female.
Okay, I think that's it these are all the things I will do. I read a screenplay, and I hope some of the tips you will find helpful, and I'm very grateful you take the time to watch my video. And if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, and also subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in 2 weeks. Bye.